So first off, we're going to point out a few things here. When you come into the lab, the heater will already have been on. It takes about an hour for it to get to temperature and to fully equilibrate. This cooler with the cooler water will have already been running for over an hour with a set point of 10 degrees Celsius. It takes that long to get to temperature. So when you come into the lab, we will have already filled it with liquid. You can see here we have liquid in this tank. You may be able to see it bubbling in the video there. So it bubbles up, goes up, runs through the condenser, which completely condenses it back down into this receiving vessel, which then takes the condensate and returns it back to the boiler. So what we're going to do, first off, a couple of notes. Do not open this while it is hot. This is how you refill it. If it is hot, then of course it will cause hot vapor to come pouring out. We don't want that. What we will do is we will take a sample from here. So this is our gas sample valve right here. And in order to take a sample, we'll simply turn it so that the lines indicating the flow path are going from the top up here to here. And we'll have our vial under here to catch the liquid. Down here we have our liquid sample valve. And again, we'll take these lines indicating the flow path and we'll turn them so that one line is pointing toward the boiler and the other line is pointing down toward the sample vial that we'll have there. First off, we'll want to drain about 20 to 25 milliliters of this material because it's all the returning distillate. We want to just get what's in the boiler. So we'll take a 25 milliliter waste sample first, and then so we'll turn it, take our waste, turn it back. No, don't turn it all the way back though, because we don't want to recontaminate it. Just stop it, put your vial under there, take your sample, then turn it all the way back. Okay? We will be testing samples from both the gas and liquid phases. So in order to take a liquid sample, we're simply going to turn this valve so that the lines indicate flow from the condenser down to the vial. Put our sample there. Once we have a sufficient sample, we will return it to normal operating position. Immediately cap our sample vial, labeled with a V for vapor. Then for the bottom, we actually need to drain off about 25 milliliters of waste immediately after taking the vapor sample. To ensure that our bottom sample is not contaminated with the returning vapor. Okay. Alright, perfect. And then we return it to normal operating position. Okay, immediately cap that. Labeled L for liquid. And then we will take these samples over to the refractometer to test them. Now that we have our samples, we have our refractometer. Go ahead and touch the screen to bring it up. Showing the previous run. We have our pipette here to transfer the sample. We're going to start with the liquid sample. A little bit there. We're going to fill this well up about halfway and immediately cap it so that it doesn't evaporate. Again, cap your sample. On the refractometer, press start. It does have to take a moment since the liquid was warmer than room temperature. It has to cool it down a little bit. So we'll wait for that. Now that it's finished analyzing the refractive index, we'll go ahead and take that sample. So this is test 1. The liquid composition has an RI of 1.3793 0. Okay. Now, go ahead and wipe off the sample well. Okay. So now that we've wiped out the liquid from there, we'll let it evaporate. Now we'll take our vapor sample. Again, I put enough onto there. About halfway fill the tray. Be the captain. I'll press start. Now that it's got that measurement, we can go ahead and wipe away the sample. As the RI of our vapor composition. 3983. Okay. We'll let that dry out. And we can now take those data points and enter them into our table.
This is the tag for the ebulliometer. This is the tag for the refractometer. This is the tag for the circulating chilled water bath for the condenser.